And all of that this morning. Let me tell you guys a story about what happened last night. I'm going to call this story The Five Percenter, the Loud Mexican Contractors, and the Lazy Police. Okay, so last night, about 1:30 in the morning, I was awakened by loud music. And if you know about the Mexicans and Guatemalans, especially the ones who are laborers and workers, you know that they love to drink and they love to listen to what they call mariachi music. The music with the horns. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, baby, oh, consolando. You know, stuff like that, right? Very loud music. So 1:30 in the morning, it's Sunday night, the day before the week starts, the day before Monday, and these guys are in a black work van. Come to find out that these guys are from another state. And as we know about some of our brothers in the Latino community, they travel state to state to work. And what they do is their friends or their boss rents an apartment from them, or sometimes they just shack up with somebody in their apartment. And that's what was the case yesterday. But these guys really weren't living here. They just came here to party. They didn't live in my apartment complex. They lived in another apartment complex. So they came here because they just came to town. And they're here to work for some company, and we know how that goes. Companies, they hire these illegal immigrants, and they have them go all around the country, state to state working. They put all of them inside an apartment. We've got like 15 of those in my apartment complex, and these guys were visiting one of those and partying outside in the parking lot at 1:30 in the morning. So I'm awakened, and then I get a phone call. As soon as I wake up, coincidentally, I get a phone call from my neighbor, a dude named God Unique. He's an older 5%er. He's 57. And he has young children, 10, 9, and like 6, or something like that. And he called me and said, hey, you hear that music outside? And I'm like, yeah, I just woke up, as a matter of fact. And he was like, yo, come to my apartment. And we're literally right next door. So it's, his apartment is like an inch from mine. Our doors are side by side. So I go to his apartment, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I mean, because we go through this a lot, because we have a large Mexican, Guatemalan community in our apartment complex, and a lot of them are laborers, a lot of white work vans. And, we just went through a thing where we, had some neighbors that were really, really loud and were drinking all night, and we had settled that situation. We talked to them. We told them, look, man, you're new to this country, because they have this mentality. They're immigrants, so they think, oh, because I'm working and I'm making money and putting money into the economy, I can do what I want to do. Because I'm paying for a room in this apartment, I can do what I want to do. They have this mindset because they don't really know what's going on, because they just got to this country. They're here to work. They don't know. So we explained that to these guys, and we had no problems with them after that. I don't know if they got scared and didn't want to lose their job, but we just talked to them, and that was it, because these guys used to be up all night, and we have kids in our community, and people who work. So, I mean, it's disrespectful to have these guys out there drinking and carrying on like that for like 14 hours straight, because they'll start at like 5 p.m. and they'll be out there to like 9 a.m. They'll still be out there drinking and smoking weed and, just partying, while the kids are going to the bus stop. And they be, picking on the young girls and stuff. So it's just like, it can get crazy. So I go to my dude, God Unique's apartment, right? And he's like, yo, Benny, what am I going to do, man? And I was like, we can go talk to him like we did the last time. And he said, nah, man, I don't want to do that, because last time we almost fought those guys. I'm going to call the non-emergency number, which is the number that you call when it's not an emergency with the police. Non-emergency, it's like noise complaints, stuff like that. So I said, all right, man, I'm about to go try to get some sleep. I'm going to go downstairs and sleep in my living room. And he was like, all right, God, I got it. So, I'm chilling. And then he wakes me up again. He calls me again and says, Benny, come to my apartment. And when I come this time, the police are outside. And he's standing outside. And he's like, can you believe this? And as I got out there, the police was going inside the car and leaving. He said, this cop pulled up. And he said to them, and he was joking and laughing with these guys. And he just said, hey, can you guys turn the music down? Or he told them to turn the noise down. And a group of guys said, look, officer, we know what we're doing. Don't worry about us. Go back to work. And they were drinking in front, this is like 2 in the morning. And he said the cop just came, said something for 2 seconds, and then left. And he was pissed off because he was like, this wouldn't have happened in that cop's neighborhood. In that cop's neighborhood, the situation would have been handled. We have children in our community. We have people who work in our community. So why do we have to be subjected to a group of guys who don't even live here? They didn't even live here. That was the thing that got him so heated. They don't even live here. And they've been outside for like 16 hours. It's 2 in the morning. And they're out there loud as hell. Music loud as hell. And the cop only said something for 2 seconds and then left. He calls the non-emergency number again. This time he lets the person know, look, I just called. I don't understand this. If this is your community, if your little white boy or little white girl had to go to school in the morning or had some type of recital the next morning or some type of activity plan the next morning and you had to go to work at the dispatch center, you would not, the police would not tolerate that in your community. Just because we live in a community, an apartment complex that has a Latino population, you think, oh, that's just what they do over there. You're looking at us as the ghetto. You're looking at us as, hey, that's what they do in those apartments. They got a lot of Latinos. It's, that's your mentality. But if this occurred in your area, you would have got those guys out of there, especially considering the fact that they don't even live here. So you mean to tell me if a group of guys were drinking for 16 hours straight and it's 2 in the morning in your neighborhood and they didn't even live there? They didn't live there. Outside, drinking, busting beer bottles, making loud noise, playing loud music. Would the cop is just going to come and say something for 2 seconds and then leave? No, that cop is going to handle business. So the lady was being smart. Do you want to file a complaint on those officers? And he said, no, just handle this situation. I got kids that got stuff to do in the morning. And my kids need their sleep, just like your kids need their sleep. And he hung up. Another cop comes, this time a black guy. He parked somewhere else. Instead of parking where the guys were, he parked somewhere else and he walked. So we were standing out there, and we see him go by. And we're like, oh, he about to handle business. And he didn't do anything. He went to the guys and said, yo, hey, what's going on with you guys? He said, hey, if you're going to party, keep it down. And walked away and went back to the car. He was out there for like 3 seconds. My man was like, my dude guy, Unique, was like, Benny, that is so insane. These cats, these Mexican dudes, these Guatemalan dudes don't even live here. These Central American cats don't live here. They've been out here for 16 hours. It's 2:30 in the morning. I have children who have things to do in the morning. They need their rest. And these guys who don't even live in our community are outside, and at this point they were pulling their penises out, they were peeing on cars, they were busting beer bottles, they were fighting each other. It was really like a zoo. So he called again, and he reported them to the, he wanted to talk to a sergeant this time. So he got to the sergeant, and the sergeant was cool with him, and the sergeant came, and he handled business and got these guys away from our community, because these guys didn't even live here. And what it taught me is, like, God Unique was so he was so disillusioned. I can look in his eyes, and he was like, Benny, man, I'm trying to be a regular civilian, man, but it's like, they don't care about us. And I said, I could have told you that, man. They don't care about us. They don't care about us at all. Like you said, if this was their community, they would have handled business. They would have made sure that the little kids, the elderly people, and the people who have jobs would be well rested, and they would have handled that situation. But we live in an apartment complex, and it's a diverse apartment complex with a lot of minorities, so they look at us as the ghetto, so they don't care. They just look at it like, hey, I got to call in to do a noise complaint. Let me go get this out the way, and let me get back to what I was doing. They don't care. And this is what's wrong with the police. The police, when you've got people like God Unique in your community, and then all of a sudden he becomes disillusioned, and when a murder happens and you go to a guy like God Unique and he says, I don't know what happened, and they say, well, you were right there. Look, get away from me. I don't know what happened. That's the problem. That's why nobody likes the police. Peace.